So let's see, there we are. Okay, we're live. All right, so we are doing another edition of the PT Business Builder Show here. So we'll give everybody a minute or two to file in. If you guys have questions, I'm going to try and answer them the best of my ability. We have multiple systems going on here, so you'll just have to kind of bear with me. So Dave Townsend is my guest today. So let's get started here. Welcome to the PT Business Builder Show, where we believe EMRs suck. That systems and software should actually improve your practice and your life, not consume it. And here, the only measure of success is systems and software that will give you the time to enjoy your life and the financial freedom to do that. So without further ado, Dave and I are going to talk a little bit about telehealth. I'm sorry if you guys hear anything in the background. I'm at home now. I'm not. so my family's here. The kids are off school. They're playing with the dogs. There's tons of noise in the background. So sorry about that. Yeah. So Dave is going to talk. We already talked about this. We talked about this telehealth before, and he started sharing some of the things that he's working on with me. And I'm like, hey, would you mind sharing this with other people? Like, I think that this will help a ton of people that are out there. Dave, as private practice owner, has Switchback Health, which is he's not here for this. He didn't want me to mention it, but I'm going to mention it anyway. It's a exercise platform where you can actually record yourself or the patient and share that information with them in a HIPAA compliant means so that they can gain that. So before we get started, the thing that came to me after we talked last time, Dave, and I'd really like to share it with everybody, is if you want to be successful at anything in life, you have to find a problem, right? If you find a problem and solve a problem, there's going to be success on the other end of that. I'm sorry about my dogs. So at every crisis, there are a lot of problems. That creates a huge opportunity. We just have to look at this thing the right way, because there are problems here. People are having problems. Our patients are having problems. Physicians are having problems. There's a lot of problems out there that people are having. If you can figure out how you fit into them, there's a huge opportunity. And that kind of came from Dave. That's why I wanted to have him on and talk about what he's doing, how he's working it right now within his own practice. So Dave.
Hey, thanks, Ray. Glad to be on, and it was great talking to you yesterday. I feel like you helped me a lot too, just kind of fleshing out ideas and giving me new ideas. But yeah, I'm a private practice owner here in Santa Rosa, California. I have a 5-therapist practice, and we created an app for a physical therapist to just quickly take video and do it in a secure way, just to kind of make life easy, so we don't have to hunt around for generic exercises and things like that. Just super easy. And yeah, but that's not why I'm here, even though that's helping us a ton here in our practices. More of just kind of sharing the war stories of how do you save a PT practice right now. And so that's a little bit my background, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm glad to share any ideas of what we're doing here with telehealth, of which we're doing 0 telehealth, and now we're just like going crazy with it. So I got hopefully a few tips to help you guys out.
Yeah, well, yeah, please. I mean, like if you just share what you shared with me, I'm sure it's going to help a ton of people.
Yeah. So essentially, we got the shelter in place orders. I believe that was early last week, and we as a clinic just decided that the essential aspect of the service is really keeping track of the patient, and that can be done by phone or video in most cases. And so we just decided it was safest and best for everyone to just stay home. So we just sent out mass email to all of our patients, as we do for our regular email newsletter. Just said, hey, safest for you guys to stay home, but we want to stay connected. So please call, and we'll switch you guys over to video visits. And so pretty much ever since, we've just been on the phone calling people. They've been calling us, and the tack that we took was that when we called somebody, we would just go ahead and say, hey, sorry, this is all going on, but we just want to switch your appointment over to a video visit. Is that okay? And we got a ton of resistance, and it took a lot of talking. Each conversation was probably minimum like 15 minutes, 20 minutes or more, just to tell them what it is and educate them on how much we could help them out. And so that's pretty much what it's been. It's just all hands on deck to get people the help they need. And then also it's a business thing too. You got to keep your practice going. So you're striking that balance.
Right. So Dave, if you don't mind me asking, what kind of, okay, not to get off on a tangent here, but this guy is probably not even on here, right? But guy, TJ Sander, he was in another group. He was saying that he had shut everything down. He had tried to get his people to convert. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this, to convert to telehealth, and they were getting a lot of resistance for that. They were having a lot of difficulty. You said it was like a 15-minute conversation. Like, what happened in that conversation? What objections were there, and how did your staff or you go about overcoming the objections that you were getting from your customer? We're switching them from an in-person, hands-on type, treatment to, hey, I'm going to talk to you over the computer.
Yeah. So all over the map. I mean, kind of two main categories. One is the existing patients, right? And so those conversations were different than like new patients on the schedule or people that had called in and were expecting to do in-person visits that we didn't have the relationship with yet. So the patients that we already had the relationship with was sometimes a little bit easier and sometimes harder, because you have this relationship with this person and they just say, oh yeah, it's like, yeah, since I'm not going to get the hands-on work, let's just go ahead and wait till this blows over, and so it was more of, with those, if appropriate, just educating them on how we could help them out, essentially saying that we could advance their exercises, or just kind of talking about their particular case. And we honestly didn't have our office staff call. We just had all of our PTs just all hands on deck to do that, because we knew that was going to convert, that it would be much, much harder the other way.
Right. Yeah. Which we've done some internal research that shows the same thing, like with drop-offs. If you're going to get after your drop-offs, the PT is the one that should do it. They own the relationship. Your conversions are going to be much higher. I'm sure that this is going to be the same way. That the person that owns a relationship with them, it's going to mean more coming from them than it is coming from somebody in the front office just calling, it's that they don't have a real strong relationship with, maybe. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe they do. But yeah, so the therapist kind of owns a relationship at this point. The person has now entrusted them with their healthcare. So them calling, you're going to see a lot more in the way of conversions. That's really, really interesting. I always love the dynamic between what the patient thinks they want and what exactly it is we have to offer, and how to bridge that gap between the two, how to make the patient understand that what I am offering you is what you're looking for, even if they don't understand right out of the gate how it is, and that if you have the patient's goals in front of you and you can talk about the real reason that they're seeing you in the first place. They're not seeing you because they like me, because they like you. They have a problem that they want to fix, right? So that problem is where your focus needs to be. And now, if you wouldn't mind sharing, we discussed, you had mentioned this to me, and you were saying about, like, right now, literally right now, there's somebody out there that might have gotten hurt. You had told me this. And how do you see us going about engaging with them? How do you see us going about finding them and letting them know that you and your practice exist and are still there in a capacity that you can help them right now, because they have a problem right now and they're lost. They don't know what to do.
Yeah, I think it's just using all the communication channels to your disposal. The Facebook, Instagram, even if you we haven't done it yet, but we were thinking about, just doing some Facebook and Instagram ads that are really not so much ads like, hey, use our service, but just more of like, hey, we're here to help. And as you and I talked about, being willing to give services away for free at this moment. And so that's what we're doing at our practice, just using everything to our disposal, and having to tap into some of our company reserves in order to serve patients at this time, meaning that, as much as feasible, we're going to be paying our PTs to be there and treat people, whether or not we get paid or not for these few weeks. Because we know we can survive that. We don't know what we're going to do long term, but week by week, we're just going to be reaching out and even just going through our list of people and even just checking in with them too, because we all have time. We're at home, we're sheltering in place with as much energy as possible, just reaching out to these people. And I did want to talk about the new people when you're establishing that new relationship. So you have somebody on your schedule that for a new evaluation coming up, and I think the best way to have that conversation is maybe not even to talk about the telehealth things right away. The way our conversations have gone is, hey, how are you doing with all this craziness? And having that conversation, get a sense of where they're at with it, and then taking it from there. And more so, I think Jerry Durham probably used this phrase that I really like, is just like, tell me what's going on. It's just like that open question, like what's going on in regards to their particular problem. Now they're talking. Now they're open to what's going on, and then further on you can say, hey, if you feel comfortable doing a video visit, let's do it. Let's go for it.
Right. And something that you and I discussed previously, like, and this is back to that problems thing, of finding a problem, that, you and I had talked about on our call, was there are not just patients with problems. There are physicians out there that now have huge problems. If this thing explodes in your community, they're going to have a really big problem. Like they're going to be overtaxed. They're going to be, running themselves ragged, trying to keep up. And we had discussed, how we could fit in using telehealth as a musculoskeletal specialist, and how we can go about doing that. How do you think we should, go about letting those physicians know that we're here, yes, we're here, we're open. This is the service that we can provide to you if you want it. If you don't, no big deal, and we'll offer this service for, as you said, like you're doing right now, for free.
Yeah, I think it's, the obvious thing is like just calling the physician offices, especially the ones that you have the good relationship with. But I did want to just say, just from a total transparency standpoint, it's like that when we were talking about it yesterday, I was like, oh yeah, like, let's send, little fact sheets and things like that, and call those physicians that Yesterday, I was a little tattered because I had done telehealth and I'm doing all these calls and stuff, and I forgot to eat, and I was like pretty tired. And so I was like, oh man, I gotta call this doctor's office. So I know him really well and all that. And I went to call, and I honestly couldn't call because I felt nervous, like I was going to be bothering them, when in reality I was going to be helping them. But if anybody's getting those same feelings of like, oh man, it's like, I don't want to, these physicians are probably overloaded. Their offices are overloaded. They don't want to field another call, about something else. And so I'm fighting that resistance, myself inside of like, okay, I just need the courage to go ahead and do it, call, because it's gonna help them out, take a lot of pressure off of them. We can just handle the back pain, neck pain patients. Right before this call, I got a call from a former patient that she just slept on her neck wrong, and she's just in a lot of pain and got her right on the telehealth with one of our other PTs. But, you know, it's like, these people are out there, you know, that are, I mean, it's a real deal. If you're stressed out already, like about your job and everything, and you all of a sudden reach down to pick up a paperclip and blow out your disc, you're calling your doc. And if they can just know that somebody's there to help, it's
like as a triage. Just offer yourself as a triage. Like, hey, you know, musculoskeletal problems. If you want, I'll do this free telehealth visit with them. You know, and now you're going to get denied. You're going to get denied. You're going to get denied. Like that's going to happen. I mean, that's just the nature of it. And there's fear in that. You know, none of us like to be rejected. You know, you've got to push into this uncomfortable zone that you don't like, but that's life. Everything you do, you have to push into an uncomfortable zone that you don't like. That's uncomfortable, and you're gonna hear no. You're gonna hear a lot of no. You're gonna hear a lot of people, that don't even want to. They don't want to even give you a no. They don't even want to waste the time with a conversation. But if you're persistent, if you're faxing, if you're, you know. And then they start to see the problem that they're having and how you can fit in to that problem. Like, so I do these little mini shock and awe things. Like I did done one previously. I got a little dice from Hobby Lobby, and I put a little thing sticking out of it. There was a lid on it, just a little cardboard thing sticking out with my name on it, and said, you know, my business name, Bellicare Physical Therapy. Don't roll the dice with your patient care. Thanks a lot, Dave, for trusting us with your patients. You've got to come up with some little thing to get past that. I don't want to bother with this. That little thing to make yourself stick out. Even if you mail this thing to them, you know, do whatever you need to do. If you don't want to walk into the place, just let them know you're there. And there's a huge opportunity, in my opinion, right now, like with referral sources that you might not even have been able to get into. If you can help them when they have a problem, who are they going to refer to when their problem's gone?
Exactly.
You know, if you're there for them and you help them when nobody else is there for them and help them, if you're there for their patients and help them when nobody else is there to help them, that says something about you to them. And you're saying, I don't even need to get paid out of this. It says something to them about you. And people remember that. People remember when somebody genuinely just does something, just like you're doing here, Dave. Like you told me before we went on live, don't even mention switchback. That's not what this is about. This is about trying to help some people. Like that means more and builds more of your credibility than any advice that you could give on this call. Just the fact that you're like, hey, look, I'm not in this to sell something. I'm in this to try to help people that might be in need right now, and try to get out there and let them know that I am here for them, and that, you know, we're all in this thing together, right? That will carry through to them, you know. So you said you got some, and May actually said the same thing. I was just looking down here. I hope you don't mind me looking down. I'm trying to keep track of what everybody. May was saying that she went to the local hospital to see if they were interested, and she said that went nowhere. You know, and that's going to happen. Wrote, fax, called. There's no response from my favorite physicians. They're just overwhelmed too. Yeah. They're going to be, May. Just stick with it. Just stick with it. Like at this point, what do we have to lose? You know, a lot of us we've got a lot of free time right now. So just stick with it. Just keep fighting the good fight, and eventually somebody's going to take you up on it. Maybe they don't even understand it. Maybe that needs to be part of the sell. Hey, you know, telehealth is a great option right now. You know, I know that you might be overwhelmed, and talk about their problems first. You. The first word in all of the copy or everything you say or the calls, you probably have a huge problem right now.
Right.
Acknowledge the other person, acknowledge what they're going through, because let's be honest, that's what they care about. Like, you know, and one of my favorite books, Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, he said, if you aren't sure that you're all about you, or you think you're different, when you pick up a picture, who's the first person you look for? Right. You know, and it's the truth. Like we all all look at how something affects us first. And if somebody else is talking about how it affects us first, we feel like they get us, like they understand us. So make sure you're starting with that. Yeah. And also, like I said, do unconventional things. Like, like I said, the mailers do it. They call them shock and awe. Figure out a way right now that you can relate to it. Put some toilet paper in it. Send them toilet paper. And they're like, because you can't buy toilet paper. So send them a couple rolls of toilet paper and say, we've got you covered. And then maybe on the toilet paper, you even write what you're doing on a couple of the sheets of toilet paper, and just the sheer shock of the thing is going to get them to look at what you're doing. So yeah, you got to be a little unconventional right now, but I'm telling you guys, there's a huge opportunity. There's new referral sources that are just waiting for you to come and disrupt them. So Dave, any other problems that you've run into, words of wisdom, how to deal with some of the stuff that you're running into, like the objections you're running into? Any other words of wisdom that you'd like to share with everybody?
Yeah, I think that one of the biggest things early on and continues to be is the just making it easy for them. So one of the biggest barriers, of course, is they just sort of put it out of their mind, like, oh, like a video visit, like that's too complicated, especially with older patients. And we don't know what's going to happen with Medicare, but still we need to be in contact, especially with our older patients. So I actually had a gal, I think she was about maybe 75 years old or so, brand new patient. I had never met her before, got her on the phone. She was needing some help with her hip. She's having difficulty walking around, just not doing well at all. Doesn't have a computer, but she had just got an iPhone, maybe just like a couple of weeks ago. And so I was calling on my landline. And so I grabbed my cell phone real quick, and with her permission, I just said, hey, because she was just totally confused. Like, I don't know how this is going to work to like get me on video. I'm not sure. And so I just said, okay, I'm gonna ring in, and it's gonna pop up on your screen on FaceTime. Just answer the call just like you would a normal call. And so right then and there, boom, FaceTime happened. My face popped up, her face popped up, and then it all set at that point. It's like once you get them on the call with video face to face, then you're set. Then you're able to help them, and you've got a new patient.
Hey, Jerry's on here. Scott, Captain, 4 others. Who are the others? May, I can't. I've been horrible at keeping track of everybody here because now I've got this and this going on. I'm trying to listen to you. I'm trying to answer over here. That's some of the stuff that you told me about that I was like, yeah, that's like, this is what everybody kind of needs to hear right now. There's.
Yeah. I also wanted to say too, like, if you've never done telehealth before, it's like, just go ahead and go for it. And we had honestly never done any telehealth visits at all. And I think we've done like 50 or 75 to this point. And so I just set it up like this. I'll just turn it. So I got my computer here. So I'm just doing FaceTime and whatever on my laptop. And then I have a little bit of space that I can move around. And then I put switch back on there, which when it's time to record the exercise, I either grab the phone and then actually take a screenshot of them doing the exercise, or I hit it and then just do it on myself.
Display it. Yeah. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Then you can give them the exercise right in front of them that you actually talk to them about over the telehealth. That's a really neat, ingenuitive idea of how to use it. And one of the things that you and I talked about, and I didn't get to do it, and I don't know if you did, but I don't want to put you on the spot here, but I'm just going to throw myself under the bus and say, I totally forgot, Dave. We wanted to look at how easy it was to get somebody on Google Meet that was maybe on a Apple device. I didn't get to do that. I don't know if anybody else has tried that. If not, I'm going to give it a go. And if you haven't done it, nobody else has done it, I'm going to give it a go. I might even record it, put it in here to show, even if it's difficult, the difficulty that there is in trying to use Google Meet. to make this happen. I got to get on with Mark, talk to, the process of how exactly people are going to use like his platform, Anywhere Healthcare, to make that happen, because I love the way you overcame the tech objection. Hey, your phone's going to ring. Just push the green button.
Here we go.
It's going to say, it's going to show a number. You just push the green button and bang, there they are. They're doing a telehealth visit. Right now the standards are relaxed. You can do that. I love that thought, that ability. And we've got to figure out ways how to make this usable for people that aren't tech savvy, because I know, I'm sure it's, well, maybe you're not the same way. Maybe it's just me. The pushing go live on these things, the first 20, 30, 40 times was god awful. And then, I was so nervous. I was so, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? What if I screw up? And then I figured out nobody gives a shit if you screw up. They have the same fears. They don't know what to do. They don't want you to see their house is messy. They don't want you to see that. Nobody wants you to see that. So
Ray, I'm laughing because last night it was like 8:30 at night, and I'm finishing up my calls, and I called one of my patients, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, it's taking so long to get back to you, but sorry, I'm calling so late." She's like, "Oh, no problem." And she was resistant to video visits at all, and so I was going to try to do the same thing. I go, "Hey, okay, permission-based questions, of course." So it's like, "Hey, is it okay if we just try the Facebook like right now, real quick?" And she's like, "No, I just got out of the hot tub, and so I just don't really think that's gonna work." So there will be times where they won't be up for it, but man, it's like we just got to keep going for it. That's my opinion. And also too, I heard some good advice. I don't know if it was on NPR or something, but the best advice at this point in time with everything going on is for all of us to forgive ourselves. And that just means that we're going to screw up. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to say the wrong thing, but it's like hour by hour, we have to kind of forgive each other and ourselves of the mistakes that we're going to make. And then just try to have that energy and just keep pushing it. It's hard.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Kevin, man, long time no see, buddy. But yeah. So yeah, I'm with you. Make the mistake. Just go headlong into this thing with the patients, with the physicians, with the referral sources. Just go in, dive in. I mean, just keep going. Tell people that are, that maybe employers, tell them, hey, I'm out here too. Hey, look, if your people are stuck at home and they're having any aches or pains and they can't get out, I'm still here. Just any way that you can. And I gave this idea in one of my previous lives. Get to your garage sale sites, get to your local Facebook page, get out there, just offer the thing for free. Hey, I know a lot of people are stuck at home. Hey, if you're sore, if you're hurting, if you're having problems, this is what I do for a living. Joey Albatron had a good idea. Go on, change your personal Facebook profile to say, I help people over the computer or over their phone and show exercise how to improve. So change your Facebook profile in a couple of minutes so that it says that you do the thing that you're saying that you're offering, so that when they look at you, they're like, oh wait, this is what he does, or this is what she does. So just these little things, keep pushing, guys, keep making the small changes, and it will really go a long way to helping you on the other side of this, because this thing's a mess. You're going to lose money right now. There's no way around it. If you own a practice, you're losing money. If you're a physical therapist locally in your community, heaven forbid, you're going to lose your job. My wife lost her job. She's a nurse of all things. She's an RN, and she lost her job, but she works in an ambulatory surgery center, so they're not doing those right now. A lot of elective procedures. So so just get out there, put yourself out there, try to help in your community, and this thing will all work out. It's all going to work out. You just got to keep pushing. Hey, JP, what's going on? Amber. Yeah. So if anybody has any questions, just let us know. If not, if you're on here on the replay, just let us know you're in the replay. I've already seen everybody that's on live. Well, thank you guys. Dave, anything else you want to share? Parting thoughts?
No, just hang in there, everybody. I mean, we're gonna, as you said, we're gonna get through it. And for me, yeah, it's just hour by hour. When you're gonna get discouraged. I mean, I was this morning. I was just kind of like, oh man, what's gonna happen? How are we gonna do this? And then I just walked into the clinic, and sure enough, patient calls. We're chatting, and now my energy's up. Because you're helping people. So the more people that you can get on the phone, the better. Keep your energy up. And then when you're down, but just get yourself back up the next hour.
Great, man. Well, just keep fighting the good fight, brother. And everybody, hey, thank you for checking in. If you have any questions for me or for Dave, you can just put it in the comments below, and I'll be sure that, one of us gets to it and helps you out there. So I guess thank you guys all for coming, sharing your time with us. Even though you might not have anything else to do right now, your time is still valuable. And thank you for sharing it with us. So thanks for watching the PT Business Builders show, where we believe EMRs suck, and that systems and software should actually improve your life, not consume it. And our only measure of success here are systems that give you the time to enjoy your life and the financial freedom to do that. Hey, thanks everyone for checking in, and I hope everybody has a great, I don't know what day it is now. What is today? Is today Wednesday?
I think it's Wednesday, yeah.
Wednesday, they're all running together. But have a great Wednesday, everyone, and thanks for checking in.